our current account deficit, in terms of the capital accounts, today India gets roughly $110 billion of remittances every year, and that number is projected to grow at a healthy rate going forward. Further on the capital side, just in FY24, we had more than $100 billion of foreign money coming in, both via FDI, which is about $60 to $70 billion, and then FIIs of about $40 plus billion. And finally, when you think about kind of how all of this has come together, it's enabled the RBI to build up a forex reserve of over 680 billion, which, as I mentioned previously, allows them to keep that band, that currency band, within a tight range. So I actually see the currency kind of staying stable between 83.75 and 84.75, kind of a 1.5% range in the next 2 to 3 years. And in my mind, therefore, Indian banks and folks underwriting the 1 year and 2 year forward rates on hedging needs to reevaluate kind of what the cost is today.
Dhruv, do you think the Indian public markets are valued highly, or are they overvalued?
Look, the India story today is one that is far more resilient to some of the macro pressures that have plagued it in the past. So, for example, in 2012, 2013, when we had the taper tantrums and the Fed was raising rates, the rupee went into double-digit depreciation. You had our macroeconomics go completely out of whack. Our fiscal deficit was close to double digits. Inflation went really high. And when you compare that to the 21-22 rate hike cycle, what you find is that today India has been able to still maintain a relatively low fisc. It's been able to keep inflation under check. In the last sprint, we're now at under 4%. So what that's done is today India is a far more resilient economy than it was 10 years ago. And as I mentioned previously, stuff around kind of our net oil imports, our ability to manage the currency has all contributed to that. So that would suggest that we have a 10 to 15 year runway for growth, which should be priced into Indian markets. And from that perspective, one can